That's why she doesn't like me. I was in the paper with her, and the joke is hilarious. It's called The Angry Pirate. And the lady who wrote it in her outrage didn't even know what it meant. And anybody who read it laughed because they know what funny. You're not living in the context of funny. You're living in the context of fire.
Have every right to be as funny as they want. They can go out and try to be as funny as they want, make as much money being as funny as they want. This is what's happening. There is a change in this country. People are realizing they have an opportunity to speak out. And advertisers are listening. Radio stations are listening.
You're not talking to who I talk to.
And you're not going to get paid as much money anymore.
Sonia and Patrice, look at this.
This is around that time where cancel culture is getting its legs. And now everybody's being looked at under the microscope. Like, what are y'all talking about?
Even us.
New city president, Sonia Ossorio. She took part in a recent protest calling for radio stations to stop supporting negative language in music and talk radio, and also our favorite stand-up comic, Patrice O'Neal.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Patrice, are O&A next?
I hope not. I hope I wish JV and Elvis didn't lose their job or Imus. It's funny. This is the thing. I don't know her, but I'm assuming that she has nothing to do with funny. So I'm gonna speak as the expert on funny. Funny people should just be left to trying to be funny.
What if they're not funny?
Then you made a mistake. But how many times has how many unfunny rape jokes lead to rape? Like,
I don't know how many jokes about rape there are.
There's a lot. But your world is not funny. Your world is next on the big story. My world is people trying to be funny.
Well, I mean, you think it's okay to try to make jokes about rape?
I'm diabetic. I make fun of that. I'm a victim. I might lose a toe. But I'm trying to make fun of. I'm trying to make fun of anything I think I can make fun of.
Sonia?
You know, what's happening now is the marketplace is deciding what's appropriate or what's not appropriate. I think the nation is just tired. There's a new mood in the nation.
What nation?
Yeah, that's
the
my
nation.
question.
You know what? We're tired of things that are just
the nation, this paper, and you?
hurtful
I'm not the nation. I'm just speaking for me and funny. You're speaking for the nation, or you're speaking for...
Yeah, you know why? Because I remember 6 years ago doing something against Anthony Openy because they were just so outrageous, and their violent images that they put out to women was just uncalled for. And now I think people...
You think they were trying to be funny?
I think now
she can't answer that.
In this country...
This is like this to me. This is a Karen, right? Like you know, we have that term now, and these women have always existed, especially like in those kind of spaces where, like for instance, comedy. They exist also like in rap music. There's always a Karen who's like, this is outrageous. This is that was like Luke and what was Luke's group called?
Ooh, I don't
Uncle
know.
Luke.
But I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know the name.
It can't. It's slipping our brains right now. But even they were getting pushed back just from the type of music they were making and whatnot. It seems like there's always a Karen who doesn't like the direction that this shit is going, and they want it to stop.
Yeah,
they wanted to get canceled, and I think even like back then, I don't even think they had as much of a voice, and I mean Karens. I don't think they had as much of a voice to cancel things. And you know what's been surprising to me though? How many people our age, the people like in our age group, who've grown up to be Karens, who've grown up to be the people that are like, this thing needs to be canceled. We can't have this in our and trust me, I'm conservative like some people, but I'm not a cancel person. I think everything has a space, and it's your job to keep whatever things you want in your space in and whatever things you want out.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't mean the things that you want out need to stop. And so I think there's always been Karens who are like, it doesn't matter if you're in the space or not. Everything needs to stop, and we need to, you know. And that's just the immediate impression I got from this lady.
Yeah. And also, even on another note too, that no one likes to take accountability for their self. Like, you're not being force fed. Nobody has a weapon to your head and forcing you to watch this or watch that. There's a ton of stuff that I don't agree with, there's a ton of content that I stumble on, and then I'll filter it in my mind, and I'll be like, oh yeah, my kids can't watch that, or whatever the case may be, or I could care less about it. But am I gonna make a rant and rave about, oh, this needs to be removed or anything like that? Like, no. Like the TV show How to Get Away with Murder, like it was awesome to me. The first 2-3 episodes. Then when it kind of shifted on me, I'm like, okay, this is odd. And then it was like, and it stayed there. And I was like, okay, now I'm good.
You made the choice to get rid of it.
Yeah, I just was like, I'm cool. Now, do I knock anybody that watched it or anything like that? No. They're free to do whatever they want. Like, that's the thing. Like, freedom of speech, is it really a thing? Because it's exercised all the time. We're on this platform and we monitor the things that we say every second. And it's like, but we have hundreds of dollars of equipment.
Thousands? What you mean hundreds? Stop downplaying our setup, yo.
Hundreds of thousands of equipment here, and we spend our time to create content for people to gravitate to, and it's like, but I can't say what I really want to say. You can't say what you really want to say, in a sense, and that's crazy. It's ludicrous.
I agree.
But the people that, it's weird. It's kind of like certain people can't say what they want to say, but the habitual line steppers that do stuff could say whatever they want. Like it's weird.
I think I know what you might be talking about. I think I might know what you're talking about, but I can't, like you said, I can't talk about it.
Yeah,
not out here in these streets.
Now, I will say this because it did mention a particular word of now.
Which word?
The R word.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Now, there's some lines of stupid and not smart, and I hear you, bro, and like, wow. So I get it. I feel like this as a comedian. If I was a comedian, I kind of consider myself a comedian at times, But I feel like if I gotta really reach for the stars and go into a dark place to get you to laugh or get a reaction out of you, then you know what? I'm trying too hard. Because most people that are comics, comedians, whatever, they have like a natural thing. Like, Dave Chappelle, for instance, he could just come in the room, he could just sit there and just do nothing.
Yeah.
And he could just kind of just do simple little just gestures, and people will kind of go into their own imaginative state on, I wonder what he's thinking about, because it could be funny. That's kind of like the angle that I was going when I was doing on AmericasMind with the little jokes and things like that for my videos content. I would lead you to the well, hopefully that you drunk it from it. And, when you do that, you're a special person, But I feel like when you got to really dig in, certain things aren't funny. I do agree with that. But then that's when you have to, as the person, say, you know what, that wasn't kind of funny. I'm cool.
Yeah. I think what he's saying is like a comedian doesn't necessarily. I think comedy is a dark thing in the first place.
Absolutely. Well, because they bring the reality. It's a reality.
Yeah, it's a reality show.
It's reality of what it is.
You look at the darkness of life and try and make it funny. I think that's what your job is. What a comedian's job is.
Well, yeah. Like when they like when
That's
they
why
talk
some
about
of the-
blacks getting pulled over. It's like, yeah, we can hee ha ha ha, but we know what it is.
Yeah, that's why some of the best comedians are people who went through the weirdest kind of life. Richard Pryor is like the son of a prostitute who grew up in a whorehouse. Like he's had a dark life.
Mm-hmm. So he
The
had
things that are funny to him are he has the ability to bring that darkness up and be like, look, this is why you can laugh at these things. This is why, look at it this way. That's what a comedian's thing is. Like, look at it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is why this dark ass shit is funny.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you can get like enjoyment out of this dark idea. Don't dwell on the dark idea. Laugh at it and understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And take these jokes so you can accept it into your life, and you won't live in a depressive state about it because this is a reality. So
And
I think a lot of comedians come out of darkness in a way.
and two, that, you know, like that's like a therapeutic like type of thing, you know what I mean, where it's like,
Yep.
like let me take this bad thing, I'ma just make it like you know, we could talk about being broke. Cause we are, you know what I mean, and it's like just how you laughed about that
For now, Chris. For now,
but I'm saying, if we was to tell that to certain people, like broke, oh my God, what do you mean? Like no money at all? Yeah, you never been in that state. You never had an overdraft of like $60-some negative. You never been able to swipe your card at McDonald's just to buy a double cheeseburger and you get declined. You never been able to just put gas in your car, fill it up. Like you never had that experience. Like, you know, they give me the Home Alone face. you know,
whether you got money or not, filling up your gas tank today is dark. It's depressing.
It's a pass. Y'all gas is high out here. Believe it or not, I was looking.
You mean out in the city?
Yeah, y'all's like about 515. By my house, my gas is 470.
Yeah. All right, let's get back on this topic. Yeah.
Trying to be
Are
funny.
tired. You know what? I don't care if they're trying to be funny.
That's what I'm
Let
saying.
me tell you
Why are
something,
you
Patrice.
in that business?
I've been to your show once, and it wasn't very funny being a woman.
It was
in your
hilarious.
Show, when you talked about.
That's why she doesn't like me. I was in the paper with her, and the joke is hilarious. It's called The Angry Pirate. And the lady who wrote it in her outrage didn't even know what it meant. And anybody who read it laughed because they know what funny. You're not living in the context of funny. You're living
all
in the
these
context
guys
of fire.
have every right to be as funny as they want. They can go out and try to be as funny as they want, make as much money being as funny as they want. This is what's happening. There is a change in this country. People are realizing they have an
not a
opportunity to
change.
speak out, and advertisers are listening.
You're
radio
not talking.
stations
You're
are
not talking.
listening.
Sonia-
You're not talking to who I talk
and
to.
you're not going to get paid as much money anymore.
Sonia and Patrice,
That's
look
what
at
it
this.
is. The marketplace.
More
is
CBS
speaking.
radio firings. They've been on a tear lately.
All right.
Are they cleaning house, or is this the PC cops run amok?
You know what it is, John.
Great answer.
You know what it is while you're reading that paper. It's the PC cops run amok.
Do you think
Who's
she's
the
a
PC
PC
cop?
cop?
Of course she is. She has an entire encyclopedia of her stance on it, but it's no passion involved. It's not a real. This is just what she has to say. We are outraged and
Oh,
fired and
he's a fool.
fired
He's an
and
absolute
fired.
fool.
Name calling. I'm
Fool.
outraged. I am outraged.
You should be.
I am a fool. Now, if I called you a fool,
You know what? People are feeling a new sense of entitlement.
Who are these
to
people?
decency in this country?
Who are the people?
A new
How can
sense
you,
of
Patrice?
entitlement
Here's
to
what. Here's
decency.
my question.
I
How
don't
can
like
you
how
just?
she says a new sense of entitlement and decency, as if entitlement is something that is a strength. I don't like it.
Here's the biggest problem. I don't even want to put America on it, but I'm going to say it. Here's the biggest problem that America struggles with, in my opinion, that no one can handle constructive criticism. The minute the minute a person's feathers is ruffled, right, then they feel like it needs to be action. Like in the field of work, period, you're not gonna please everyone. You're gonna get a percent. I know if I was to go through the comments, I know there's a group of people talking crap about me, and that's fine. You know what I mean? And my thing is that I know that I'm not going to please every single person, nor do I care. But at the same time, the 5%, 10% is outweighing the 85, 75. Why does the 5%? Why does the lower percentage get to dictate and hold someone's fate in their hands?
Because they're the loudest. There is a term for it. It's called the loudest minority.
But by who?
It's that's the issue. Like, all right, so if you're a big corporation or even say a small business and you listen to the loudest minority, then you've kind of created a problem for your own business.
I agree.
Because you've given a small percentage of people the ability to say anything, like not anything, but whatever they disagree with. You've given this small group of people the ability to affect your business because you just allowed them to. Instead of like saying, instead of ignoring, there's a specific thing that this happened with, and I'm taking a second to see if I want to bring it up. All right, I will. All right, so there's a thing happening with Sesame Street characters.
Okay.
And so there was a video released about a Sesame Street character supposedly ignoring black children.
Wait, is this the Disney? This is a Disneyland, right?
No. It's probably what you're thinking, but it was in Sesame Place or something in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And so a mother released a video, and it appeared as if this person in this suit was ignoring black children, or these two black children specifically. Now, all right, so I'm not going to get into whether I think or whether they actually were ignoring the children or not, because that's not my point. But my point is, when it was time for the company to address it, what they said first is, that's not what happened. This wasn't a racist incident. The person just, they were explaining that this person was in a suit, like in a suit with eyes like this.
Yeah, so
you
they
can't
can't see.
everything.
They can't see. Yeah,
and they were just explaining like it wasn't a purposeful thing. The person couldn't see everything. They're walking and being led by a person they can't see. They're addressing as many kids as possible. Every kid won't be addressed. That was their initial statement. Then they came back because the backlash continued and said, "We're completely sorry. The employee is going to be fired. We're going to have employee training and to deal with all these types of things." And so like this thing that could have been, and like I said, I'm not going to pick a side on it right now, but I'm just saying it factually could have been a lot of things. But since it was presented as racism and presented to the company as racism, the company folded like fast after one statement. So now they got to fold every time something happens.
yeah,
Every time something happens, they got to fold.
yeah.
And so if you put yourself in that situation that you'll let the smallest voice, even if you as a company have made sure or investigated yourself whether or not this thing is the thing that people are saying it is, and you released it the first time like, no, this isn't what y'all saying it is. They still say, no, look, did you not see the video? Anything. A video, 2-second video could look like anything. An 8-second video could look like anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, now you have to bend every time. Now you got to bend the knee every time somebody has an issue with any clip of something that happens. And You know, I think what I'm saying is we can kind of see the foundation of where that kind of ideal started, and I don't think this was new. We're just looking at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was new in a sense that this is getting mainstream coverage, and the lower percentage of people with the loudest voices were actually getting things to move. So why would you expect that to stop instead of grow?
So
And now we're how many years later? 15.
what you know? I know I'm not gonna put the tail on them like that, but I know where they came from. Came from the news. What the news doesn't put nothing positive up.
Exactly what I'm saying, Yvette. Like it seems like that is the truth, that somebody lost their job because of a poorly designed costume, and that it was framed in a certain way, and just accepted that that was the case instead of everybody digging into context. It
Well,
just
yeah,
it was
that
the outrage won.
like negativity is gonna always get the likes, gonna get the push.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about particular platforms that I've tried to do certain content with, but some of the certain contents that I put up, if I'm bashing black people or bashing like
Don't say it like that, bashing black people.
well, no. But what I mean, like
I know what you mean, but
not like literally. But I'm just saying,
I'm trying to save you from the Karens, yeah.
No, I get it, but it's just like, if I put something about myself that doesn't look that good, then you go viral. But if I put something else that makes someone else don't look that good, then I get tabooed. So I'm not gonna throw certain platforms out there that I've dealt with where they've kind of forced me to retire making content because it was just frustrating, because overall to me it was just supposed to be funny, and with the humor that I was trying to go after was dry humor, because a lot of blacks don't do dry humor. So that's what the angle that I was going for. And it was like every time I put something up, it was like, oh, flag. It's like, well, dang. But if I put this guy that's drunk, stumbles out, get his head bashed in, and he just happens to be black. Oh,
world star, yeah.
Yeah, I got 11,000 hits in 2 hours. And it's like, then it puts the scale on me now to pick my poison. Now, Chris, you see what direction they're kind of trying to navigate you. Do you want to do that or not? And, but I do blame the news. But I've been to places myself personally where I've gotten the wrong impression. I got rubbed the wrong way. Something, maybe my kids experienced something, and I just simply don't go back anymore. I simply don't promote the business. I
would agree with that move. Like if that's what you got out of it, then I would agree with the move that like you say you taking.
Yeah, because
I think but your move allows for context to exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you say, I feel this way. This needs to happen. Everybody needs to see why I'm making this decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily the thing that you're doing. I agree. Like if let's say I was those kids' parents at that Sesame Street parade, and I felt like something happened to my kids because of a racist decision. My first instinct would just be like, oh, this is not something we're doing anymore.
Yeah.
Just like that easy. Like I don't need to sue. I don't need money.
Oh. And then keep it 100 with
I don't
your
need
kids.
to tell my kids. And I think this kind of stuff is super damaging to kids. And a lot of the ways that people reacted to it, like even like in a situation where this is an actual thing, right? Or this was like, say your kids are in an actual racist situation. Do not tell your kids that this happened because they're black and people are racist. And people might be like, why? Why wouldn't you tell your kids the reality of the of Earth, or of humanity?
Because I'm gonna go deeper, because I've had this conversation with both of my children.
There's really clear reasons why you don't tell your kids that such and such happened to them because such and such was racist.
Because you're singling them out, for one.
Go ahead, bro. Because you're saying, you're gonna.
I've been saying, like, for me, like, because I've been in situations like that, and for me, the best thing that I came up with when I talk to my kids, like, my kids probably don't even know what that word even means.
Yeah.
Because I don't promote that. I know it exists.
Definitely.
But I don't want them to be fielded on that every single time, because every single time is not that situation.
Right.
So, like, my son's the oldest. So I've told him, hey, Jordan, there are some stupid motherfuckers out here. Straight up. Like, and he looked at me like, I'm like, Jordan, like, look, you have a fabulous mind on you, and there's going to be a lot of people that's not going to be on the same intellectual level as you. Does they make them bad people? No. But what you do is that you just watch them create some wedges and just don't indulge into the silliness. People do stupid stuff all the time. Just make sure you're not one of those people that are stupid. Because if you do something stupid, Jordan, I'm going to tell you that you're stupid. And see, and even that word is a tabooish word. Oh, kids, they're stupid. Yes, you can. It is. If they're doing something stupid, it's stupid.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And because most people that follow racism, and I don't want to dig too deep into that and change the complexity of the show or the direction today,
right,
but are stupid.